Suzy and Friends with Suzy Cato. Feelings favorite kids podcast.
This is Suzy and Friends
with Suzy Cato.
Kia ora, talofa, konnichiwa, guten tag.
Hola, bonjour, ni hao, and g'day. Welcome to Suzy and Friends in a podcast. It's the podcast made just for you and your whānau and all the tamariki in Aotearoa and around the world.
So, the podcast made for everyone?
I suppose so. Yes, the podcast is made for kids all over the world and kids of all ages. Kia ora, I'm Trevor.
And kia ora, I'm Suzy Cato. And now you're here, we can begin.
Hey, we always start with something to tease your brain, so let's give your brain a workout with this question coming from Lawson. Yes, Lawson wants to drive a digger when he grows up, so this brain teaser works quite well. You'll find out why in 2 ticks.
Okay, here we go. What do you call something that the more you take away from it, the bigger it becomes?
Okay, it sounds tricky, but just think about it, okay? What do you call something that the more you take away from it, the bigger it gets?
Can you guess? It's something that starts out small. Then you take some more away and it gets bigger. Do you know what it is? It's a hole. You make a hole in the ground and dig out more dirt, and the hole gets bigger. In fact, it doesn't have to be dirt. Most donuts have a hole, don't they? If you pick away at that hole and eat the donut from the inside out, the hole gets bigger.
Oh, I might get a donut on my way home today so I can try that out. Good idea? I think so.
Good idea. Thanks for that, Lawson. Okay, we begin with a brain teaser on Suzy and Friends in a podcast. Then we have He aha te ratangi. What's that sound? It's the game with no prize that's heaps of fun, and you can even make it into a competition with your whānau or the friends in your class. Listen to the sound all together and see who's the first to guess the sound correctly.
Great idea. I know loads of teachers are using Suzy and Friends in a podcast in the classroom, especially on wet lunch breaks. Okay, are you ready for the sound? Okay, whakarongo, here it comes.
Have you heard this sound over summer? Let's have another listen.
He aha te ratangi. What's that sound? So, Suzy, you said something about summer before. Is it a sound that you only hear in summer?
Oh no, you can hear it all year round. But that's the only clue I'm going to give you for now, okay? We'll listen to the sound again soon, and I'll give you another clue then if you need it. Before that, though, I get to read you the story Pigeonholed by Nikki Slade Robinson. And I share some super cool fun facts. Oh, and Trevor and I get to share some jokes with some cool kids just like you. Do you want to hear some cool jokes? Okay, here they come.
What's a pirate's favourite letter?
I don't know. What is a pirate's favourite letter?
You'd think it'd be R, but it's actually C.
What do you call a deer with no eyes?
What do you call a deer with no eyes?
No idea. What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs?
What do you call a deer with no legs and no eyes?
Still no idea.
What goes up on your birthday but never goes down?
What goes up on your birthday but never goes down? I don't know.
Your age.
You're listening to Suzy and Friends with Suzy Cato.
Hana, that could have been a brain teaser, you know, because it's true. Ka pai. And I heard something scary the other day. When I visited South Taranaki last month, I met some wonderful people that I hadn't seen for about 30 years. If I don't get to see them for another 30 years, guess how old I'll be? I'll be nearly 90. Oh my goodness. I think I better go back to South Taranaki soon, don't you? Where else should I visit? Should I come and visit the town or city you live in? Let me know which town you live in so I might get the chance to see you before I turn 92.
Crikey, you better email Suzy quickly. Email suzy@suzy.co.nz and send us your jokes and your story requests as well. Or you can visit our website to get a message to us, suzy.co.nz. There's a message box right there so you can send us messages.
Well, Tasha used that email address recently. Tasha sent in a fun fact about her favourite food, spaghetti, which made me hunt out a few more fun facts about this fascinating and rather delicious food. So, stand by for today's
Fun facts. Fun facts. Fun facts.
About Spaghetti. Fun fact 1 is the fact that Tasha sent in to us. Spaghetti, the Italian pasta that she loves to eat with a little bit of butter and some salt and pepper, was invented around 1,000 years ago. There are now over 100 different pasta shapes available, but spaghetti was the first, and apparently it's one of the most popular because it's the easiest shape to make. Fun fact 2. The word spaghetti comes from the Italian word spago, which means string or cord or twine. And that's what spaghetti looks like, doesn't it? Like long pieces of string, especially when it's cooked and is all wobbly. Fun fact 3. Spaghetti strands used to be much longer than the spaghetti we buy in packets now. The spaghetti we buy is usually about 30 centimetres long, about the length of a school ruler, which fits easily into a cooking pot. But when it was first invented, spaghetti was half a metre long. Wow! Think how long it would take to slurp up a piece of spaghetti back when it was first invented. How fun would that be? And that's Fun Facts for today.
Thank you, Suzy, and thank you for that first fun fact. Tasha, nice work. Ka pai tō mahi. I'm learning so many interesting things from the fun facts. How about you? Well, today I learned lots about spaghetti. And I learned that Suzy Cato can make a great spaghetti slurping sound.
Oh yeah, I love spaghetti. How about you? Do you take one end of a piece of spaghetti in your mouth and then slurp it up? I don't always do that, especially if the spaghetti is really saucy, because the spaghetti tail whips around and you can get sauce all over you. Sometimes I wind my spaghetti round and round and round on my fork and then make it disappear in a big mouthful. But sometimes I get lucky and there's a strand of spago that's not too saucy and I might give it a big suck to make it disappear. Hey, do it with me if you like. Make that slurpy sound. Are you ready?
Hey, if you have a fun fact about something you love, like Tasha did, or you have a sound you'd like Suzy to try to make, email us and let us know. suzy@suzy.co.nz. That is the email address.
Yes, please.
Right now, though, it is time for a story, and Suzy is going to share a story from Suzy's Book Corner. Away you go, Ms. Cato.
It's called Pigeonholed, and it's by Nikki Slade Robinson. I've read a few of Nikki's books, but do you know what pigeonholed means? When you're stuck in a pigeonhole, it means that you're sorted. You're put in a category or a box with all the others that are just like that. I don't think Nikki likes being pigeonholed. That's why she's written this book. Are you nice and comfy, ready for a very special story? Well, let's begin. "You're a little pigeon," said Big Pigeon. "You belong in the little hole." "No, I don't," said Little Pigeon. "I'm going to grow big." "Well, you're also a plain pigeon," yawned Big Pigeon. "You belong in the plain hole." "No, I don't," said Little Pigeon. "I have so many colours inside me." Just because his feathers might be plain doesn't mean that he's plain. "You're a grumpy pigeon too," huffed Big Pigeon. "You belong in the grumpy hole." "No, I don't," said Little Pigeon. "I'm a happy pigeon. I can sing too. Tweet, 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 tweet. "Oh, you're such a noisy pigeon," groaned Big Pigeon. "You belong in the noisy hole." "No, I don't," said Little Pigeon. "I can be very quiet." "You are a very fussy pigeon," growled Big Pigeon. "Well, I am not going into the very fussy hole," said Little Pigeon. "Why do we have to be in holes anyway?" Big Pigeon sighed. "It stops us getting mixed up." "What's wrong with us getting mixed up?" asked Little Pigeon. "We're all pigeons. And why aren't you in a hole?" "I have an important job. I put pigeons in the correct holes," said Big Pigeon. "And you ask too many questions." Little Pigeon took a very big breath. "You're a pigeon, I'm a pigeon. If you don't have to go in a hole, then I don't have to go in a hole, because I am me." Little Pigeon yelled so loudly that all the pigeonholes shattered. All the pigeons flew free, especially Little Pigeon. He's happy being me, or being him. And that's the end of the story. Did you like that story? It's important that we're all allowed to be ourselves, our wonderful, colourful, vibrant, different, unique, amazing selves. We don't want to be pigeonholed, do we? Not me. It's by Nikki Slade Robinson. She's written and illustrated over 60 books. Well, you can find out more at davidling.co.nz.
This is Suzy and Friends.
With Suzy Cato.
Oh, I love that story. Actually, all of Nikki Slade Robinson's books are very good. Look for them in your local library or bookstore and in Suzy's Book Corner on our YouTube channel, Tree Hut TV.
You'll find a link to our YouTube channel on our website too, suzy.co.nz. Ooh, ask your folks if they remember the digestion program from Suzy's World, because we added it to our Suzy's World playlist in January, and it's so cool.
Well, cool is one word for it, yes, but some people might think it's kind of a bit gross.
Well, I guess it is a bit, because it's all about how our body digests food. But it's fascinating, and our digestive system is amazing. And hopefully you'll learn heaps when you watch it. I did while I was making it.
Learning new things is good for you. Playing What's That Sound, the game, is also very good for you. It's good for your ears, it's good for your brain, and if you guess correctly, the sound this week could be good for your feet.
Your feet?
Maybe. Have a listen to the sound again. He aha tēratangi. What's that sound?
Do you need a clue? You probably won't hear this sound at home. You're more likely to hear it at the gardens, like the botanic gardens around the country, or in places like Mission Bay in Auckland, Boys Park in Hamilton, and Kelburn Park in Wellington. It can be really good for hot feet though.
Oh, I know what it is. It's a...
Don't guess yet, Trevor. We'll listen to it one more time, then I'll tell you the answer.
Oh, all right then. Well, while we're waiting, Neve can tell us all about a really good book that she read recently. Here she is.
This is Neve reviewing the book Colour the Stars. It's written by Dawn Macmillan and illustrated by Kenya White. The story is about two friends, and one of them is blind and can't see colours or anything. And throughout the book, they learn about how to feel and smell colours. One of the friends who's not blind goes throughout different places to smell and feel colours and says they're really important. Since I read the book, I thought about colours differently. I thought how I never realised how colours could be smelled and touched to know what the colour was. Sometimes if there was a yellow flower or something, or the sun's yellow, you could feel the sun and you could smell the yellow flower. My favourite character is Luke. He's the blind boy, and I like it because he's learning at the same time as I am. I love the illustrations because they include lots of colours, and I like it how they made the birds all completely white and behind them there's rainbow colours. It kind of reminds me of looking at rainbows sometimes. Something special about this book is that they always translate it in Māori, and if you don't understand Māori, there's a glossary at the end which shows you how to translate the words. I think this book would be a great book to have in the library because it's a really beautiful illustrated written book. It did make me feel happy on the pages where they kept on learning, and it was a really happy and funny book. Colour the Stars by Dawn Macmillan and illustrated by Kenya White. Bye.
Colour the Stars. It's a very good book. Thank you, Neve. Hey, if you want to find out about other books which would be good to read, visit our Kids Talk About Books channel on YouTube. Kids talk about loads of different books on that channel, which all have one really cool thing in common. They're really good.
There's a link to the Kids Talk About Books channel and loads of other cool things on our website, suzy.co.nz. And if you think you know a good book that you think others might enjoy, please let us know. We are always looking for new books and always looking for kids to share their thoughts.
Cody has something to share. A new phrase for it's cool to kōrero.
Kia ora, ko Cody tēnei, and today I thought we could learn what to say when we want to ask someone to play. Me tākaro tāua. Let's play together. Me tākaro tāua. How about you try it with me, one word at a time. Repeat after me. Me. Tākaro. Tāua. Now, let's put those words together. I'll say it first, and then you repeat. Here we go. Me tākaro tāua. And again. Me tākaro tāua. So if you see a friend in the playground and you'd like to play, you can say, Me tākaro tāua. Let's play together. Or if you see a group of friends and you would all like to play together, replace tāua with tātou. Me tākaro tātou. Let's all play together. And that's it for now. I'll have more cool te kōrero on the next Suzy and Friends. Ka kite koutou.
Cody's back next week with Cool Te Kōrero. And you can find out about his other resources for learning te reo Māori at kiawhanake.co.nz. That's KIAWHANAKE.
Has your class ever visited a zoo? Stefan wrote a story all about the trip his class made to visit the local zoo. Kia ora, Stefan. Are you ready? Okay. Toru wha.
On Wednesday, I went to the zoo. Then we walked up the hill. We had to wait for a while. The first thing was alligator. And then I saw some lions. Then I saw some spider monkeys, and they have a tail to hang. Then we went back to school.
Wow, Stefan, you got to see lions, spider monkeys and alligators. That sounds like an awesome trip to the zoo.
I reckon. And what a great story too. Ka pai tō mahi. Hey, have you been to a zoo? Have you ever seen lions and spider monkeys and alligators?
Well, if you don't have a zoo near you, do you know where you can go to see lions and alligators and spider monkeys? Your local library.
Your local library has wild animals?
No, but they'll have books about lots of animals like that, I'm sure.
Good point. Okay, time for one last listen to this week's sound in our game, What's That Sound? It's the game with no prize, but it's fun to play. Are you ready? He aha tēratangi. What's that sound?
He aha tēratangi. What's that sound? It's something you might find in a park or a botanical gardens. Sometimes it's a place where you can paddle, and sometimes people throw coins into them. Can you guess what it is?
It's a fountain. Okay, a fountain. Did you guess correctly? Give yourself a pat on the back if you did, and if you didn't, don't worry. We'll have another chance with a brand new sound next week.
We'll also have some new jokes for you, some new fun facts, and more wonderful kids just like you. But thanks to all the cool kids that helped us with the podcast this week. Thank you, Te A, Elizabeth and Hana for the jokes.
Thank you, Lawson, for the brain teaser, and Tasha for the fun fact.
Thank you, Stefan, for the story, and thank you, Neve, for telling us about Dawn McMillan's book, Colour the Stars. Remember, if you want to be a part of our podcast, let us know. Send us your joke or story via email, suzy@suzy.co.nz, or visit our website, suzy.co.nz, and send us a message there. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Nikki Slade-Robinson, for letting Suzy read your story, Pigeonholed. Fantastic story.
Thank you to our wonderful friends at New Zealand On Air.
And to our lovely friends at RNZ.
That's a lot of people to thank for helping this week. But we've got one last person to thank, and that's you. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you tell all your friends to tune in too, so they don't miss out on the fun.
And we have a new episode of Suzy and Friends in a podcast just for you, well, and everyone else in the world, every Monday morning. Okay. Hey, have a great week. He kone rā.
Ka kite e hoa. Goodbye, my friend.
This is Suzy and Friends.
With Suzy Cato.